Yes, please. Now see. So these are the various balances given in this question. Notes to accounts, reserves and surplus information is given. Opening balance of reserves is 50,000 and closing balance of reserves is 1,85,000. Then some additional information is also given. Income tax paid during the year. So now first see whether information regarding income tax is given here. It will always be in the current liability section. Short-term provisions, but it is not given here. So this is only the information given in the question regarding tax. Dividend paid, interest on bank overdraft for the year. So this all is given. Now we have to prepare the cash flow statement. Cash flow from operating activities is the first part of this cash flow statement. And the step one is net profit before tax and extraordinary items. So we will prepare a working note for calculation of net profit before tax and extraordinary items. So surplus, that is balance in statement of profit and loss, closing balance. Let's see the closing balance. Closing balance is 1,85,000. Then opening balance is 50,000. Yes. So the difference will be closing minus opening. So it will be 1,35,000. Then we have to see provision for tax, dividend, and reserves. These three informations we have to find out in the question. So tax, dividend, and reserves. Reserves is reserves are not having any other information. Only one information is there, that is profit and loss balance that we have used. So tax and dividend we have to consider. Now tax, regarding tax, only one information is given in the question. So I will be adding this tax. Add. Sorry. In the working note we will do this. Provision for tax. This is given 35,000. Then we have to add the dividend. Dividend paid during the year was rupees 30,000. So dividend paid 30,000. So now if we will add these two, we will get net profit before tax and extraordinary items. And that will be 1,35,000 plus 35, 170 plus 32 lakh. So it will be 2 lakh. So this we have calculated. So we will write here working note number 1. And this amount is 2 lakh. So step 1 is completed. Now coming to step 2, we have to make adjustment for non-cash or non-operating expenses So now see whether any information is given. See, one information can be there in fixed assets. It can be loss on sale of fixed. We have to recall the amounts. Depreciation. So depreciation is not given in the additional information. So depreciation we can find out from the fixed assets account. But in fact, even then it needs some information for that also, but it is not given in the question. Then it may be for intangible assets written off. Intangible assets are not there in the question. It can be bad debts. It is not given in the question. So many informations are there. If we will recall depreciation, amortization, loss on sale of fixed assets, bad debts. So these informations are missing in the question. That is the way that I can be sure that yes, this information is missing. That's why I'm not attempting this information. But we have to recall it in each and every question. Then one non-operating expense is interest paid. So that interest paid information is given in the question. Interest on bank overdraft for the year rupees 4,000. So that is a non-operating expense. So that I will add here. Add interest on bank overdraft. So that interest is 4,000. Sorry, I should write this amount here because the last column will be only for final amounts. 4,000. So now I will edit. And the total will become 2,04,000. Then I have to subtract the non-operating incomes. Now what are the non-operating incomes? I have to just recite them. The non-operating incomes are dividend received, interest received, rent received, and gain on sale of fixed asset. So I don't have any information in the additional information section regarding these 3-4 items. Then I cannot find these information from the given balance sheet also. I cannot calculate profit on sale of fixed assets until and unless some information is given regarding fixed assets account, first thing. Then I cannot calculate because some sort of investment should be there for receiving the interest or dividend. So that is also not there in the non-current assets, because whatever the income I will be getting from investing section, that is fixed assets or non-current asset section, that will be only non-operating income. So because there are no investments, that's why I will not be having any interest received or dividend received. This is the way to decide what I am having in the question and what I am not having in the question. But you should be knowing these things. Only then you will be able to do that. Otherwise, you will always be in suspicion whether I am doing it correct or not, whether I am missing some information or not. So this is the way to be assured. So I don't have any information regarding profit on sale of fixed assets. I don't have any information regarding interest received or dividend received because there are no investments. Then I don't have any information regarding rent received also because I don't have any land or any building which is mentioned here, or any information is not given in additional information section also. So that's why in this question, I can be assured that I don't have any non-operating income. So whatever I have got 2,04,000, that is actually my operating profit now. So it is my operating profit before working capital changes. If you will follow the same steps, only then you can attempt the question completely. Okay. Now we have completed step 1 and step 2. So the step 3 is we have to adjust the increase or decrease in current assets and current liabilities. Now see the current liabilities section. Bank overdraft is given. Bank overdraft is part of financing activity. That's why it will not be considered in operating activity. Trade payables. Trade payables last year balance was 85. Now it has become 1,05,000. So it has increased by 20,000. So increase in current liabilities will be added here. So we will. Okay. Now, so increase in what was it? Trade payables. Trade payables. 20,000 is the increase there. Then first we will check whether what is happening in current assets also. Inventories are also increasing, but it will be subtracted. Trade receivables are decreasing, so we will have to add that. So what I will do, I will write the amount in inner column then, because it is more than one amount then. 20,000. Then I have to add decrease in trade receivables. Now decrease in trade receivables is how much? It is 30,000. So this is all to be added. Then cash and cash equivalents, that will not be considered right now. So these two amounts are to be added back. So total I have to add 50,000. And this way the total will become 2,54,000. 2,54,000. Now I have one current asset which is increasing. So this increase in current assets to be subtracted. So this I will reduce here, less increase in inventories. How much it is increasing? It is increasing 10,000. So 10,000 I will reduce from here, and the total will become now 2,44,000. So this way we have completed the first three steps of cash flow statement. We have calculated the net profit before tax in the working note. This we have done. Then second, we have completed the adjustment for non-cash and non-operating expenses and incomes. And we have find out the operating profit before working capital changes. Then we have added the increase decrease in current assets and current liabilities. This is the step third. Now coming to step 4. This is now we have find out the cash flow from operating activity. This is cash flow from operating activity. 2,44,000. Now we have to see whether tax paid is information is given. Yes, because see, we have already added this tax paid here as provision for tax. Similarly, we will be subtracting it here as payment of tax, less tax paid, and it is also 35,000 because the same amount is given, single amount is given. my cash flow from operating activity will be 2,09,000. And this one, so I will write it here. 2,09,000. This is cash flow from operating activity. So this is the answer for cash flow from operating activity. Now, second part, we will start cash flow from investing activity. Cash flow from investing activity. So for that, now see the balance sheet again. We have used current asset section. We have used the current liabilities section, except bank overdraft that will be considered in financing activity, except cash and cash equivalent that will be considered in the last of the question. So this is the way to attempt the question. Just recite the things, what I need to search, what I am doing, which step I am completing, what are the rules of that step. Only then you will be able to proceed in the question. Otherwise, you will be blank. When you will look the question, you don't get any clue from where to start, what to do. So for investing activity, I know that I have to look in that section, fixed assets. So now opening balance is given, closing balance is given, but no more information is given. So even if I will prepare fixed assets account in working notes, I will get a purchase of 2,80,000 because the opening balance is 2 lakh on the debit side, closing balance on the credit side is 4,80,000. So the credit side is more than the debit side. So on the debit side, I will get an entry. I can have two entries only, either profit or purchase. So because profit cannot be there because there is no sale of fixed asset, that's why I will treat it as purchase. So I will write here purchase of fixed assets. We can show the working note also. We can prepare the fixed assets account for showing this calculation. And the amount is 2,80,000. Because it is purchase, it will be an outflow. 2,80,000. And because there is no any other investment, no any other fixed asset, or no any information is given about non-current assets, so investing activity will be already over. But here sometimes you can have some clue for investing activity that is also not given here. So my investing activity is completed. So sometimes if you are shortage of time in exams or you are not finding any way to proceed in operating activity, you can leave this space and you can directly attempt the cash flow from investing activity section also, because sometimes it is easier in the question. So final answer for cash flow from investing activity, also because it is outflow, so it will become cash used in investing activity. And it will be in brackets 2,80,000. Now coming to the third section. That is cash flow from financing activity. Lot of practice needed for this chapter also. You have to learn how to prepare the notes, working notes. Each and everything should be shown properly and neat and clean with proper speed. Now see, total asset side has been used in operating and investing activity. Only this information we will be using in the last of the question. Then current liabilities also has been used except bank overdraft that will be used in financing activity. And this is also part of financing activity. Reserves and surplus we have already used. Share capital we have to use in financing activity. So now as regards share capital, it is increasing. If you will prepare share capital account, that will give you a result that you are issuing shares and you are getting 1,50,000 from issue of shares. So first point will be proceeds from, and because type of share is not mentioned here, we will assume always as equity shares. Proceeds from issue of equity shares. $1,50,000. That is an inflow. Then second information, share capital has been completed. Short-term borrowings, bank overdraft, it is same balance. So there is no change. So because there is no increase, so it will not be an inflow. There is no decrease, that's why there will not be any outflow. So we will not be using this information then. It is nil. Then all parts of balance sheet has been completed. Now coming to this information, income tax paid during the year, once it is added in step 1 and once it is subtracted in step 4. So because it is additional information, it is like an adjustment. It will also be attempted 2 times. Completed. Dividend paid during the year, you can see we have added the dividend paid during the year here. And now dividend paid will become the outflow. So now dividend paid will be an outflow. Dividend paid, and we have paid 30,000, so we will write in brackets because it is an outflow. Then interest is also paid for rupees 4,000. That will also be an outflow of financing activity. Interest paid on bank overdraft, $4,000. Now we will find out the net result. So 30 plus 4, negative items will be added separately. 34 minus 1,50,000, so it will be 1,60,000. And because inflow is more than outflow, the answer will be positive. And this will be written here, 1,16,000. And the answer will be cash flow from financing activity. Now, in the last, we will find out in step 4, step here, net increase or decrease. First we will check before writing. See, this is inflow 2,09,000. This is inflow 1,16,000. So obviously my inflow is more than my outflow. So it will result in net increase. Net increase in cash and cash equivalents. Now 2,09,000 plus 1,16,000, it will become 2,25,000, 3,25,000. Minus 2,80,000, it will result in 45,000. So 45,000 is the net increase. Now we will add the opening add opening cash and cash equivalents. So opening cash and cash equivalents are how much? Now we will use this information in the balance sheet. 85,000, and our answer should come 1,30,000 after adding it, because the closing cash and cash equivalents are 1,30,000. So 85 plus 590 plus 40, 1,30,000. So closing cash and cash equivalents. One lakh 30,000. So this way our question is complete now. If you have any queries, you can ask. You should always prepare the working note for fixed assets account also. I have not shown it. If you wish, I will be making it. If you have any confusion regarding that. Now I hope the whole process of preparing cash flow statement has also been told. But it needs a lot of practice, lot of adjustments we will find there in your books. You may get some doubts also that you can ask me, as and when you will be getting the doubts. But learn how to present the answer, how to write the things. That is very important. How to check the informations, whether it is given in the question or not, where you will check it, because these confusions will create only problem in the question. Whether this information is there in the question or not, am I able to find it properly, or am I able to decide whether this information is not given in the question? These are crucial things. This time you have been given this information. Sometimes you have to prepare the provision for tax account in the working notes. Sometimes you have to calculate this dividend from the given information, like percentage is given here, preference shares, or percentage of equity dividend is given in the question, that you have to calculate. Dates are given for debentures, you have to calculate the interest on your own. So a lot of adjustments will proceed in this manner.